Welcome back to another Thursday night football preview. We have the Houston Texans and the New York Jets playing per usual. We have our underdog plays. We have 3 plays to go over. You guys know the deal. We're in week 9. It's almost November by the time you're seeing this. It's still not November. Let's hop straight into it. Let's not waste any time. You guys know the spiel. You know the deal. You know the wheel. We're going to hop straight into the play and stains. That's cool. I didn't even see this. Make sure you're on Underdog Fantasy when you may take these bets. Because not only will you get up to $1,000 deposit match bonus, but you'll get a free square for Aaron Rodgers at just half a yard. Plus, you'll get all the plays for this weekend as well. Plus, you get a surprise profit boost. Surprise promo, 31% profit boost, up to $1,000. Plus, we're going to take CJ Stroud lower on passing yards. Probably like, but CJ's so good at football. I understand that. He's also without his weapons right now. That's a big thing we can't overshadow. He's without Stephon Diggs. He's without Nico Collins this week. Now he's playing the number 2 defense. We go to prop side cash. The number 2 defense. Versus the pass this year, allowing 164 passing yards per game. Now, is that a little bit inflated because of the Denver game? Sure, 100%. But it still pretty much stands. There's not been a lot of passing yards versus his team. Obviously, Russ did really well. But Drake May and all them struggled in the past. You can look at the lines here on the right side of your screen. Again, it's a little bit cut off for you guys, but I can read them to you. The lines, pretty much everyone went under this mark, right? Outside of Brock Purdy week 1, but his line was set at 240. And Josh Allen, 215. Russell Wilson was one of the only ones to really hit over this mark. Sam Darnold didn't even hit over it. There's a lot of just not hitting the overs against this team. And I think that continues today with CJ Stroud. Why? Probably. I can read you. I have a lot of numbies here, so we're gonna take a bit for this. Well, CJ Stroud has recorded an 89 pass rating versus cover 2. If you remember me in the beginning of the season, he was one of the best quarterbacks versus cover 2. Now he's turned into one of the most mid quarterbacks versus cover 2. That's an 8.8 drop off from his passer rating in any other coverage, which is 97.8. So he's worse against cover 2, and this team runs a lot of cover 2. They also run a ton of man coverage. CJ Stroud leads the league since week 6, and the Texans lost Nico Collins, and now they lost Stephon Diggs. But since they lost Nico, they've run the most 12 personnel in the entire NFL. Sorry, apologize. The second most 12 personnel in the entire NFL behind the Steelers, with 42.6% of their offensive snaps. If you're wondering, hey, Gut, what the fuck is 12 personnel? 2 tight ends. 2 tight ends. And in the first 5 weeks, they only used it at 30.4% of plays. So that's increased almost 12% without Nico Collins. Now Stephon Diggs isn't there. You're going to have to rely on guys like John Mechie. It doesn't look very hot for CJ as well. But he does lead the league with 741 passing yards when he's under pressure, averaging 7.17 yards per game. It's the 7th most in the league. He's doing great under pressure, and this team pressures a lot. But the Jets have recorded the 6th highest pressure rate in the league this season. And they also allow the lowest success rate. So as well as CJ's been doing, so have the Jets. So that's another give and take situation there. CJ hasn't looked like prime CJ like we saw last season. He struggled a lot against Green Bay. He only threw for 86 yards in away games this season. I can show you guys. He just has not been himself. Obviously this is in New Jersey. So, yeah, not looking too hot for CJ this week. I think I'm going to lean the under, but we are going to correlate that, as you do with most plays, with the Joe Mixon over. Right, so we're correlating plays here, 82.5 rushing yards. If you saw me on Twitter, you got this at 78.5 rushing yards. I actually took it myself on Pickett at 77.5 rushing yards if you tail on Pickett. Make sure if you're not on Pickett, use code BDG when you sign up, because it's absolutely free to sign up, so there's no reason not to sign up. And you get to get all my best lines, best odds, best takes, all that sort of shit as soon as possible. So it's pretty dope. But we're going to lean the under for CJ, the higher on Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon, Steen has been the best player on this team. I don't care what you say about Nico. Joe Mixon has been playing like God. He's averaging over 100 rushing yards per game right now. And in healthy games, again, he got injured versus Chicago. So I kind of want to take that one away. So if we eliminate Chicago, right, we just do like rushing yards over 26. So to eliminate that game. He's had averaging 119 rushing yards per game. And he's also seeing 107 plus rushing yards over expected this season, which is the 9th most in the NFL. No Texan has run for over this mark in the first 8 weeks in the past 7 years, aka since Arian Foster. And he's a perfect matchup. The Jets allow the 7th most rushing attempts per game. They allow 127.7 rushing yards per game. They faced Najee Harris, who had 97 rushing yards. Devante had 77. Tony Pollard even had 62. Jordan Mason had 147 rushing yards. If you remember, Aaron Jones on this Jets defense had 30 rushing yards in the first quarter before he got hurt. You look at it from that perspective, there's a lot of teams that have been running on this team with successes. The Jets have missed 88 missed tackles this season. That's the 4th most in the entire NFL. And again, the Texans are utilizing 12 personnel. Again, why does that matter? Well, there's more tight ends in the game. They're running the ball more in the game. And he's seeing up to 25 rushing attempts in these games. 25, 30, 13. Like in 13, he had 102 rushing yards. They didn't even need him in that game. And now there's no Diggs. Now there's no Nico. What are they going to do? Probably lean on Joe Mixon. He's averaging 5.4 yards per carry right now. Again, in healthy games. So you look at it from that perspective, he's killing it right now. He's absolutely crushing it right now. And the lines, like you look past running backs, obviously Ramondre didn't hit it, but he had 2 touchdowns. Najee Harris, 102 rushing yards. Ray Davis, 97 rushing yards. You look at, again, Aaron Jones, 29 rushing yards in the first quarter. Javonte Williams, 77 rushing yards. Again, that was a rain game. But Tony Pollard had 62. And then obviously Jordan Mason in week 1 had 147 rushing yards. So you look at it from this perspective, and it's like the matchup is there. The efficiency's there. The numbers are all pointing there. There's no receivers now. I think this is an easy smash line for Joe Mixon. Even if they're down, they're going to still run the ball with him, as he's been so damn good this season. And now going on to our last play. We're going to waste no time, but make sure if you're not on Underdog, you're using code BDGE because you get a free line of Aaron Rodgers at half a square, so you can add that into the slip. And we always love adding plays into the slip-in stains. Devante Adams, 57.5 receiving yards. Feels great. Feels awesome. Makes me feel nicey. I love this line, right? Devante Adams so far this season has seen a 22% first read share since being on the Jets. 6 and 9 targets in those games. One of those games he was completely shadowed by Christian Gonzalez, so you have to factor that in as well. Christian's a good player. He's a great player. And when he's healthy, he's one of the best corners in the league. I don't care what you guys say. Not saying he's top 5. Not saying he's even top like anything. I think he's a top 15 corner in the league by far. Closer to top 10 than he is 15. Devante Adams has played 94.6% of offensive snaps since week 7, and that's including a team-high 29 routes run last week in week 8. Not only that, but Adams is aligning in the slot on 47.1% of offensive snaps. That is a 22% increase since the Raiders, so he's lining up in the slot to try to get him closer to Aaron Rodgers, to try to get these easier targets. And he's averaging 6.8 air yards per target. Obviously, that's a big drop-off from the Packers, where he's playing pretty much strictly outside. But I don't think it really matters when they're going to generate one of the highest EPAs on outbreaking routes since back to 2018 when they were together. Yeah, so like he's seeing the volume, he's seeing the percentages, he's seeing the first read percentages, which are only going to go up. He's seeing the most routes run, he's seeing the most snaps. Like there's no reason for me not to lean into this narrative that we're going to have a big game, especially against a Houston defense that has had some big games to wide receivers. Josh Downs just had 109 yards receiving. Obviously, the Green Bay game was just a wash. Romeo Doubs still had 94 yards. Demario Douglas had 92 yards. You look at Jacksonville's game, Brian Thomas had 86 receiving yards. Even Christian Kirk had 61 receiving yards. Justin Jefferson, 81 receiving yards. Like, there's been receivers. Alec Pierce had 125. There's a lot of receivers that have gone off versus this team, so it's not like it's going to be out of left field. It's going to probably be Devante Adams, their main man, that they're going to go to every single time, and he's going to destroy this team. You also look at who plays in the slot. Josh Downs plays in the slot a lot more. Demario Douglas only strictly plays in the slot. Christian Kirk plays in the slot. DJ Moore has seen a lot of snap shares in the slot this game. 53 receiving yards in that game. Justin Jefferson is just the greatest receiver in the league. But yeah, so he's going to see these opportunities. He's going to see a lot of snap share, a lot of opportunity share versus a defense that I think is very susceptible, especially when they're going to probably struggle a little bit more on offense. So it could lead to some easy yards there. Also, they allow a ton of passing touchdowns, so I'm leaning to Devante Adams to score a touchdown as well. So if you want to lean into that too, you can. Again, quick video here. Not too much to go around. We're just kind of keeping it straight, simple, to the point. No yapping extra. And giving you the facts, the stacks, and the ready to kick some ass type picks. CJ Stroud over, Joe Mixon over, Devante Adams over. Make sure if you're not on Pickett or on Underdog, use code BDGE because you'll get our plays, my plays, for free. In Underdog, if you deposit $10, you'll get up to $1,000 in deposit match bonuses. Plus, you'll get the free square of Aaron Rodgers at just half a yard. Plus, you get a free profit boost. You get those like all weekend long too as well. So you get those. You get all that sort of fun shit. It'll be a ton of fun, good times, great times. Make sure to leave a like down below. It's the easiest way to support the channel. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.